Now that you've got a big pile of potential pains that you could potentially want to solve, what we're going to do is select that first pain that we're going to have you walk down the line of to go and cultivate much more information, to see whether or not people have it, to find out where you can research things online. So if you're worried and you're saying, by no means am I ready to pick a pain yet, that's great. This is not your final pain. This is just the first pain down a long roadway of pains that you're going to look into that will then result in a final pain that you want to create something that solves. So don't worry if you feel like you're being rushed. That's the point here. This is just an iterative process so that we're going to get you to pick a pain, get you comfortable going about and cultivating more information to see whether or not other people have that pain. And from that information, you're going to be able to find out much more about yourself, about your customers, about what you'd be interested in trying to solve. So don't worry, take this one step at a time with me here. Let's pick your first initial pain and we'll just go from there. So what you're going to need are firstly the answers from the pain brainstorming that we did in last lecture. So have your notepad with you or have that stack of sticky notes. You're going to need a pen or a pencil to write with, and you're also going to need a watch or timer to keep track of time again. So what I want you to do is very similar to last lecture. I'm going to have you listen to a question, which will also be presented to you on a slide. Then I'm going to have you pause the presentation once again. But here's where things change. So instead of writing down all of your answers for 2 minutes, what I want you to do is review your answers from the last exercise, and I want you to place 2 dots on your 1 or 2 answers that align most with that. So when I ask you a question, if there's only one answer or one pain that really identifies for you with that question, put 2 dots on it. But if there are 2 that you're very passionate about or that both really answer that question for you, then put 1 dot each. So for each question, you have to give out 2 dots, and that can either be on 1 or 2 different pains. And you only have 1 minute once again, because I'm sure as you saw in the last exercise, it's pretty impressive what you can do when you've been constrained for time. So by having 1 minute, you're going to come to the best conclusion you can, and you're going to use your gut, which is really, really valuable. So don't doubt that. So once you've written down those 2 dots, I want you to move on to the next question. And then I'm going to come back at the end of this and have a conclusion with you. So after the questions, don't turn off the lecture. I'm coming back and we're going to work on something together. But right now, let's dive into those questions. So make sure you have your answers with you, and you've got a pen, and you've got something to keep track of time with, and it's set to 1 minute. So question number 1. How often do you think about solutions to this pain in the shower, car, or walking around? So basically when you have free time and you're not rushed or working on something else. Question 2. Would you work a full-time job so that you could afford to work on this in your free time, so in weekends or evenings? Question 3. If you told your 5 best friends about this, about you working to solve this pain, would they think that it's cool? Question 4. Is it a problem worth solving that you would actually brag about to your friends? So is this something that you're so passionate about and that you value so much that you'd go out and tell people about it without them having to come and ask you questions about it first? Question 5. What do you want to spend the next 5 years of your life learning about? Question 6. What do you dream about becoming a master of? Question 7. What are your biggest pains in life right now? And now the final question, question 8. Which pain do you have the most personal authority or credibility with? So if you were to tell people that you were working to solve a pain, which would they believe you have the most ability to actually go out and solve? Okay, so now what you have in front of you is either a large amount of sticky notes with dots on them or a notepad that's full of answers and dots. So how do you pick your final pain? So what I want you to do is to look at those top pains, so all of the ones that you've just put dots on, and I want you to pick the one that you're the most passionate about eradicating from your life right now. So take 1 minute, set your timer, and review all of those ones that you've already put dots on, and the number one that you want to just remove from your life, that's the one that I want you to pick. That's going to be the first pain that you start working on. So start 1 minute now. Okay, so since we've actually done nothing to validate whether other people have these pains, I want you to also pick your second and third ranked pains so that if we find out really quickly that nobody else in the world has this pain or not enough people have this pain or it's not severe enough, then we've got two other things that we can quickly move to and you can continue your growth and your road or you're working down that roadway to finding a pain that you really want to solve. So meet me in the next lecture and I'm going to show you some online research strategies that you can use to find out whether or not people actually have the pain that you just picked.